All right, so I'm Tyler Branham. I am a special education teacher at Pikeville High School. I teach students with moderate and severe disabilities. And are there any special ed teachers in here? Any at all? Well, anyway, the time is limited. I feel like with anything, with any job, we really don't have enough time in the day to do all the things that we're expected to do. But one of the things that we're to focus on, especially for special education students, is to try to afford them a successful transition into the real world. Somebody mentioned earlier that college is not for everybody. And a lot of the times the students that their life after high school is going to involve one of a handful of things, one of those being supported employment through vocational rehabilitation. So our grant, we're calling it 3D Transition. We've bought a 3D printer and some supplies that go along with that. What we're going to do is we're going to simulate a workplace environment. And this is Mr. Jesse Lucas. I forgot to introduce him, but he's one of our science teachers at Pikeville High School. But we're going to simulate a workplace environment in his classroom, in where he will act as the employer, I will act as the job coach, just like a voc rehab. That connection will be. And so our students will work together. We'll learn the skills needed for a successful transition into a real world placement in my classroom, and take those skills and generalize those in his classroom. Skills such as communication, social skills, soft skills, all the skills you need for a student to be successful in a supported employment situation. And so I don't feel like there's enough time, like I said, in the day to be able to do every single thing that we need to be able to do for these kids. So I thought, why not bring the workplace environment to us? And so we're going to use that in one of his class periods. We'll go up there, I guess, one period a day. And what will happen is, like, our idea for the 3D printer is that our students will work together to design and create and engineer some things, like, for example, keychains. We could even do personalized keychains. We could take up orders through our school, and then what would turn that into? That would turn into a retail store in my classroom, or we could use the concession area at our school, and we could sell those. Not for profit or anything, but more. I mean, we would make a little bit off of it, but it would mainly be just to go back into keeping filament and things for the 3D printer. But really, the possibilities are endless with 3D printers, and I'll let Jesse talk about that a little bit.
Hi. So like he said, he'll be sending up his students into my classroom. I teach 2 engineering classes a day, and especially the first year, they do a lot of AutoCAD. They do a lot of 3D designing. So the concept that we have in mind is we send his students up. They jump into a team of engineers. They're going to help draw the sketches. They're going to help design it, and then hand it over to my students. My students will then go on to the AutoCAD. They will 3D design it. And like he said, we got a 3D printer. It's a really nice 3D printer, and it's very easy to use, so hopefully eventually maybe his students could use it as well. And then we will 3D print it. Now, some of the other stuff that goes along in it, on the software you can see how much filament you're using and things like that, which could go back into his class, and his students could do like a cost analysis of how much money is it going to take to print this keychain? How much money is it going to take to print this Christmas ornament, which is one thing we were thinking about doing as well, which I think would be super successful. So that's some of the soft skills, but that also connects to their math skills, which is always nice for them to see the real life math skills. So that's essentially what we've got going on, and hopefully, like he said, we'd like to build on that. All the money that we get will mostly just go back into it. I'll get money back for the filament. My students will learn how to work in a team, and his students will learn how to work into a team, and hopefully any extra money, maybe they could go on a trip or somewhere, or they could put it into marketing the stuff that they're creating and designing. And something that we actually thought of maybe in future, if there is any students with a physical disability, well, maybe they could work with a team of engineers in my class to design a solution for that physical disability. So there's a lot of different places we can take it, and we're really, really excited about where it can go. You got anything else?
No, well, and just basically, like, we're trying to take all, we're really trying to embed as many skills into this particular project as possible, because really all these skills are needed for a successful transition into the real world. Like communication's huge, social skills are huge, not only academic skills but motor skills. Pretty much anything you can think of, we're going to try to embed it into this. And when it turns into a retail store, and then you're dealing with money, and money is a huge downfall for some of my kids. They have a hard time with not only counting money but calculating change, and so being able to be more hands-on with real money, it's going to hopefully transition over into a positive, successful life after high school. So is there any questions?